Hey everyone, welcome back to the Homestead. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about foraging for wild edibles. Now we've identified 9 wild edibles that are here on our homestead, and there actually could be quite a few more because in this area of East Texas there's probably 20, give or take, but we haven't found all 20 on our property. You are going to have to take a look and study what is available in your area on your property specifically. Now, foraging for wild edibles is not something that you only need to do in a desperate time when you need to stave off starvation. It can be done anytime, and my daughter and I today are going to be picking wild blackberries. Nice. If you're interested in homesteading, learning how to homestead, learning how to garden, learning a lot of DIY projects, stay here with us on the channel. Head below, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. All right, let's get back to finding some more edibles. Now, of course, a disclaimer in every video is you need to study for yourself through many sources, reputable sources, to make sure that you're identifying the right thing and not something poisonous. So I'm going to leave a link to a book, a great book, down in the description below. Go check that one out.
Big. That's a big one.
Awesome. So you can actually help facilitate the growth of things on your homestead by not mowing an area that you see some wild edibles coming up in. Now, as you can see at the base of this willow tree here, we noticed some blackberries coming in. So I started not mowing directly against the tree and leaving a good 3-foot wide from the base of the tree ring around the tree, and this is all blackberries. Now, we didn't have many here last year, and now this year it is loaded full of them. So you can help facilitate that by just doing simple things like this.
I got a sweet one.
Nice.
Well, we're foraging.
So this is Lambsquarter. You can see this leaf shape here, so check that out. And it's kind of got this silvery color on the back of the leaf, so that's how you know what it is. It's got a great flavor to it. It's similar to like spinach, I would say. It's very tender, and it is found in a lot of places in the U.S. So we've got it here in Texas, where I came from up in Michigan. There was plenty of it. It is a wonderful wild edible that you can find so many places. So here's that leaf shape again for Lambsquarter, and just give it a taste. Just like spinach. Honestly, it's got a deepness in flavor. It's kind of a creamy-ish flavor, kind of like spinach. At least that's what I use. That's the term I use when I think of spinach and its taste. Just like it. And it grows everywhere. And it's really easy to find and identify. So another one I want to talk about are wild onions and wild garlic. Now, they're all gone right now in this late spring period, but in the wintertime, they are very prevalent. When our grass is brown and dead, the one green thing coming up out of it is wild onions and garlic. My daughters absolutely love them. They eat the leaves. You can eat the entire onion or garlic plant. The leaves they taste exactly like an onion. Now, to identify them is simple. You do it by sight and smell. If it looks like an onion and definitely smells like an onion, then it's a wild onion. The bulbs are down in the ground. They're very small, kind of like a pearl onion or smaller, and the leaves taste like a chive, so you can eat those anytime. They're all over the place, and it's really cool to see them come up each fall. So here we are, probably one of the most famous wild edibles there is, the dandelion. Of course, everybody thinks that it's a weed. It is not. Almost every single part of the dandelion is edible. Now we're going to be talking about dandelions in a future video, showing you how to make some dandelion coffee. I'm not going to do that today, but of course on the dandelion plant, the flowers are edible, the leaves are edible, and the roots are edible. Not usually the stem where that milky substance is, but some people do eat that. The stem, in my opinion, isn't very good, but these flowers and the leaves are fantastic. The dandelion leaves, there's a specific species of Italian dandelion that is used in fine dining restaurants, and I actually have seed that I bought for the Italian dandelion. These are all wild dandelions, and I let them grow here in the garden because it is an edible. My wife drinks dandelion root tea on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day, to combat a lot of digestive issues and some high blood pressure, and it does an amazing job. So this, I usually just take my Japanese style hori-hori knife that I have, get down here next to the root, and we're gonna dig this up and show you this beautiful, huge dandelion. She's gonna love this because this is gonna make a lot of coffee here. So obviously you can find dandelions just about anywhere. They grow absolutely everywhere. As a lot of homeowners know, you can see I broke off a lot of the roots because they were so deep. This is a portion of one of the long roots that I did get out of this mass, but you can see how thick they are and how many of them in this cluster there were. So we are going to take these and we're going to process these, and like I said, be looking for a video on how to make dandelion coffee. But the dandelion leaves themselves are quite bitter, but it's an interesting bitterness. Let's find a little one here and I will taste it for you. Now the flowers you have to process also a certain way, and so I'm not going to eat those raw, but there's the leaf. It's quite bitter, but it's a really interesting bitterness. I don't know how to describe it. If you've had dandelion before, you know what it tastes like. One of the best wild edibles out there. All right, I want you to take a look at this small tree. This tree, yes, it's transplanted. Yes, I did plant it. However, it is a wild Texas persimmon. Now these grow in the wild everywhere, and this particular one was growing wild on my friend's property. We dug it up, we brought it here, we transplanted it, and it is looking just fantastic this spring. We just did this in the fall. So wild Texas persimmons are very sweet. They get this black color, and when you find them in that stage, they taste kind of like molasses. They can be astringent, but that's in some of the early stages, and they taste amazing. So this is that beautiful wild Texas persimmon that is, I don't know if you can find it anywhere else in the South, but look for that when you're foraging. One of the coolest things to find when you're foraging for wild edibles are grapes. Wild grapes grow all over the United States in different forms, so you're going to have to look and identify the leaves per what's in your area. This is what a grape leaf looks like here. I'm not sure the specific variety, but this is a wild grape, and they form these little clusters of grapes. They'll flower out first in these tiny little flowers, and then you'll have little clusters of grapes everywhere. You can also eat the leaves. Obviously, in a lot of cultures, specifically like Greek culture, you'll have stuffed grape leaves with rice in the middle, and they have like a citrusy or a tanginess to the leaf, and they are very good. Now, I want you to be careful, specifically with wild grapes, because Canadian moonseed is poisonous, and they look very similar to wild grapes. So, like I said before, when you're foraging for wild edibles, know exactly what you're looking for. Do your research ahead of time from many trusted sources. And if you want to, carry a little guide with you to know exactly what you see when you find it in the forest. Now, wild grapes will usually grow on a forest edge like this. So right in front of us over here, we've got our orchard field. We mow this area, and back here are all of our woods. So they're right here on the edge. It's a perfect spot. There's, oh man, there are a lot of them, and we're really excited about this. We're quite far away in this shot because our Texas pecan trees, our native Texas pecan trees, are huge. They're probably 45, 50 feet tall. That's that tree right there. And there are pecan trees all over Texas that produce quite a bit of pecans for everyone. Now, nuts are kind of difficult to forage in that some years they don't even yield fruit. So like last year, this tree had 0 pecans on it. So this year I'm hoping that we'll have some. And they can be susceptible to drought and with their fruiting. And so when you find them, they are a great treat. And these two, when they are producing, produce a ton. And we have kind of mowed around them and made them a little haven, essentially, to be able to produce those for us. But these are wild. Now, another wild edible we have on our property are wild carrots. We don't have any right now, but when you do find them, look for them in the younger stages. When it is already flowered out, things are going to be too tough. The roots will be too tough and woody to really eat, and the leaves will be too tough. So you have to find them in the baby stages when they're just growing. That's when the root is the most tender. If you find them though, you are very lucky because they taste fantastic. So I've mentioned a lot of different edibles that we find on our homestead here in East Texas. And I told you that we don't have a lot of what is actually available out there in the wild. So if you have 100 acres, you're going to find maybe a lot more than we do. But there's a myriad of other wild edibles that you can find all over the place. And you're going to need to study and learn, of course, like I said, what is available in your area. We've got a lot here and we're very thankful for it. It's some really cool, enjoyable time like you saw me picking the blackberries with my daughter. Now I want you to head right here for more homesteading how-to videos. Thank you so much for being here.